The four horses of the Apocalypse. Revelation 6:1-8 describes four horses: white, red, black and pale horses or green. These four spirits compete, patrol land, govern the humankind. They certainly appear to fulfill Bible prophecies concerning the very Antichrist philosophic, mysterious, spiritual and political movements, as we approach the end of the world. I have always been interested to understand the meaning of the colors used to describe the four horses, as it appears to be the key for the interpretation. Every horse color describes the magic power employed, and every rider describes the organization that will be using that power, its strategies and how far it will go. The Greek words used to describe the four horses' colors are: akos means white, pyros means red, melos means black, kleros means green. The four colors are the four magic powers, or witchcraft strategies, the devil will use to conquer the humankind. The white magic is considered as the religious witchcraft and this the number one strategies for the Antichrist. The dictionary labels the white magic as the magic used only for good purposes. Is a kind of hidden side of the malicious black magic, the spirit of confusion. The truth is, there is not goodly witchcraft. The red magic is represented by physical violence. The black magic is represented by the invocation of evil spirits for evil purposes. And the green magic is represented by the using of the nature in witchcraft. The white horse. The white horse is the white magic power, and the rider on the white horse is not the Christ as most people think. The white horse is the religious witchcraft. The rider of the white horse is a mysterious, spiritual and political leader, the Antichrist. Matthew 24:3-6 warns us concerning the false Christ, saying, "As Jesus sat on the Mount of Olives, the disciples came to him in private. 'Tell us when all this will be,' they asked, 'and what will happen to show that it is the time for your coming and the end of the age?' Jesus answered, 'Watch out and do not let anyone fool you. Many men, claiming to speak for me, will come and say, I am the Messiah. And they will fool many people. You are going to hear the noise of battles close by and the news of battles far away, but do not be troubled. Such things must happen, but they do not mean that the end has come." Who is the rider on the white horse? When most of Christians see an occultist, a Muslim or Buddhist monk, burn incense, read rosaries and use candles, they recognize that it is witchcraft, but they don't remember that it is the same Roman Catholic practice they see in their everyday worship. Initially, in the Roman Catholic custom, the Pope dresses in white, his helicopter is white, his jet plane is white, and his Pope mobile is white. The white color is the color of the Catholic magic. Most people have never heard of the so-called Catholic magic. The white magic is officially known under two different names, the white magic and the Catholic magic. The rider on the white horse is the Catholic Church. The rider of the white horse had a bull, that means he is a secret killer. And a crown was given to him, means it will be a kingdom. And he came out conquering, and to conquer. The very first pope was an emperor. Constantine, as the rest of the other popes, had royal crowns. Second, moved by greed to conquer the world, the Roman Catholic has shed more innocent blood than any other institution that has ever existed among humankind. Today, the total amount of innocent people killed by the Catholic Church is estimated beyond 500 million. Most of the people today, including Roman Catholics themselves, don't know about the true bloody history behind the Roman Catholic Church. The true history of the Roman Catholic Church has been hidden far from the eyes of the mass media, through the recomposing of lying history books, with the goal that the mass will never know the reality about the Antichrist Church, the White Horse. In 1940 the Baron of Pot wrote, "Roman Catholicism was born in blood, has wallowed in blood, and has quenched its thirst in blood, and it is in letters of blood that its true history is written." Here are some few examples of atrocities made by the White Horse Killer, the Catholic Church. In 1940, more than 700,000 men, women, and children in Croatia tortured and killed by the Catholic Church. From 1930 to 1970, 500,000 children taken from families, forced into Catholic institutions and abused in Australia. 800,000 people massacred in Rwanda, with support from Catholic Church in 1994. Between 1930 to 1990, 300,000 babies stolen from mothers by the Catholic Church in Spain. Between 1920 to 1996, 10,000 plus women abused the Catholic institutions in Ireland. Between 1930 to 1970, thousands of children tortured and abused in Catholic schools in Switzerland. The White Horse Rider is not only a conqueror killer, but he is also very greedy for power, in such a way most of the popes committed murder to get to power and left the power strangled, poisoned, beheaded and brutally murdered. For example, Pope John VIII, poisoned and then clubbed to death. Pope Stephen VI, strangled. Pope Leo V, strangled. Pope John X, suffocated with a pillow. Pope John VII, elected March 1, 705, John was noted for his devotion to the Virgin Mary and for his energetic restoration of Roman churches. Murdered by the jealous husband of the woman with whom he was in bed. Pope Benedict VI, strangled. Pope John XIV, murdered by starvation. Pope Clement II, poisoned. Some other popes were killed violently, such as Pope John VII, killed on October 18, 707. They used the husband of a woman John VII was sleeping with who caught them in the act, and beat the Pope to death. He is today commemorated among the saints by the Catholic Church. Pope John VIII, killed on 16th of December 882, they used his relative, who visited the Pope and poisoned his drink. Finding that the poison did not work quickly enough, the relative bashed in John's head with a hammer. Clement I 99 AD, an anchor was tied around Clement's neck and he was thrown into the Black Sea. Pope Stephen VII. After having eliminated his predecessor, the Pope Formosus, he undressed him, cut off his 3 right-hand fingers, and had him threw him in the river. However, in his turn, Stephen VII was imprisoned and strangled to death. These are just a few examples among the other 45 popes brutally murdered. It is sad to see how many Christians imagine that the Roman Catholic Church is a Christian church. Practically, even Islam is somewhat nearer to the Bible than the Catholic Church is. All precepts of the Roman Catholic religion deny the most important Bible teachings. God is formally against images and idols. He calls it evil abominations. Ezekiel 8, from 9 to 10. And he said to me, "Come in and see the evil abominations they are committing here." And I went in, and looked, and behold, there were all kinds of creeping things and abominable beasts, and all the idols of the house of Israel painted on the wall round about. The Bible goes on, "Since you saw no figure on the day the Lord spoke to you from the midst of the fire at Horeb, watch carefully over your souls, lest you corrupt yourselves and make yourself a sharp image, a representation of some idol, the figure of a man or a woman." Deuteronomy 4:15-16. In the book of Acts of the Apostles, we read in chapter 4, verse 12, "There is no salvation in any other, for there is no other name under heaven given among men, by which we must be saved." Here are the titles that Rome gives to Mary: the Immaculate Conception, the Guardian of the Faith, the Mother of the Church, the Lady of all Nations, the Queen of the Holy Rosary, the Queen of Heaven, etc. When Imperial Rome won in wars, it took away the gods of that people. And Emperor Constantine, who was the founder of the Roman Catholic Church, although calling himself an outside bishop because he had never really converted, found, at the request of the pagans who came to the church, a reason to introduce these statues of mother and son into places of worship. To hide this abomination, they were called Mary and Jesus. This deception was accepted, and men continue to worship them today. Ezekiel 8:12-14 tells us, "And he said to me, Son of man, do you see what the elders of the house of Israel are doing in darkness, each in his room full of figures? For they say, the Lord sees us not, the Lord has forsaken the land. And he said to me, you will see yet more of the other great abominations they commit. And he brought me to the entrance of the gate of the house of the Lord, on the north side. And behold, there were women sitting there, weeping for Thomas, a statue. If there is no other name, where does it come from that we nowadays have many other names such as Mary, Joseph, the saints, etc.? Where did it come from that Mary was taken as an intermediary between men and heaven? There is no verse in the Bible that refers to the Virgin Mary as co-savior and human advocate. Paul tells us, for there is one God, and one mediator between God and men, Jesus Christ the man. 1 Timothy 2:5. John also did not remain silent on this subject. He says in 1 John 2:1, My little children, I write these things to you, that you may not sin. And if anyone has sinned, we have an advocate with the Father, Jesus Christ the righteous.